I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the out, man, it's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go, control your super, go.
There. To your left, there's a... Sorry, Richard. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pockets,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border.
On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire our strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over.
Overheating is bad.
Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin!
Oh yeah! Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie. Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Let's in die Breite ziehen, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, haben 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out. Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV cool shot. Here they come, they're pushing hard, guys.
Decro. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, if you cross it then, get in their face. They got a highlighter, they just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys, full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Golf. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family. Attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the out, man, it's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die.
Guys,
15 seconds, don't die.
guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow. Okay, go. Control your super, go.
guys hinter die Indie-Pockens, hinter die Indie-Pockens.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on empty barrels. Why are our strikes up?
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over. Overheating is bad. Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance you guys in Charlie, Lance you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Leute in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4-3 Stück, 2 Mediums einleiten, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, haben 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, a Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Hey, here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then. Get in their face. They got a highlighter. They just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Go, B3, go.
Echo, go. Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill.
I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
To the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And anybody's running short is going to stay towards the top of the caldera if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the f*** out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Kommt Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't die. 15 seconds, don't die.
Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Jar, CT, yellow. Okay, go. Charlie, see if we can go.
There. To your left, there's a... Acceleration. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pockens,
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on empty barrels. Why are our strikes up?
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over. Overheating is bad. Both legs on the Griffin. Get the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a
That's right. I'm gonna spawn Lance you guys in Charlie, Lance you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Leute in die Breite, zieht euch in die Breite.
flanks, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurz Aufschaltung Delta 4-3 Stück, 2 Medium sein Leid, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox, Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, haben 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie and Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves, make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Here they come, they're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tesla.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, you cross it then, get in their face. They got a highlighter, they just push up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta.
Yep, that's the noise. Go. Let's finish this.
Full pressure, guys, full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the f***ing arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Go. I got him.
Go, B3, go.
Echo, go. Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow.
God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill.
I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family.
Stop laughing.
Just go.
I am. All right. Greetings, Mech Warriors, and welcome to the MercStar Charity Invitational quarterfinals match between 228th Blackwatch and MercStar. Kind of a conglomerate, I guess, between SIG and SWK and stuff. But MercStar has come together and have made it to the quarterfinals, and here we are. There are going to be 2 quarterfinal matches, one today, of course, that you're about to watch, and one of them on Saturday, which involves AIM versus Seraphim Rising Storm. The winner of those 2 matches will move on to play the first-seeded teams in each of their divisions to basically get their butts kicked. Don't want to sell myself too short there, but then the winner of those move on, and we'll duke it out in the finals to see who the big winner is. So far for the charity, obviously this is a charity event, and it is to support the multiple sclerosis charity, and it's been doing pretty well. We've actually done pretty well. We are up to, out of the $1,000 goal, we have reached $728.31, so that's pretty fantastic. Couldn't be happier with that, and hopefully you guys today can open up your wallets and continue to help out a really good cause. We'll throw the link into chat for that charity. There is a reason why you might want to do that beyond just giving to a good cause, because we will be giving away some MC today. The minimum donation to be put into the running for an MC, for the MC raffle, essentially, is a $10 donation. So, go ahead and donate $10 or more, and for each iteration of $10, so if you give $20, you'll have 2 entries into it. You then will be doing a drawing at the end. We're going to do the drawing for 4,000 MC, so it's a pretty decent MC pack. We will also be giving away 2 500 MC packs randomly to our viewership today. So just being here and hanging out with us and drumming up the hype for this match, you will be able to have a chance at getting some MC yourself. So stick around. Hopefully it'll be good, and I'm super excited for this match. I think this is going to be a really good matchup. The way that it worked for the quarterfinals is they took the 3rd seed from one division and made them play the 2nd seed in the other division, and vice versa. So this is a 3rd seeded team playing against a 2nd seeded team, but neither of these teams have seen each other at all throughout this entire tournament. They obviously have played each other in the past in other situations, but for the tournament, this is going to be their first meeting. So I'm really excited to see what happens here, and I don't know. What do you think at MD? How do you think this one's gonna go?
I'm thinking I should get in the lobby and then actually think about it.
Okay.
But I'm in the lobby
You're
now.
in the lobby. All right, cool.
I'm not sure, but I think I have to go right now with 228. It's a little bigger of a unit than we're used to seeing, right? I think we're both kind of used to MRBC. It's a very popular league where it's 8v8. This is obviously 12v12s. It plays a little differently when you add in those extra 4 pilots. But I feel like 228 is such a deep team. They've got so many competitive units out there. They got a lot of players to pull from. MercStar, obviously, again, like you mentioned, the conglomerate. They've also got a lot of people to pull from. I just feel like 228 has the edge on this one. But I think on 12v12s especially, it's a little harder to predict sometimes. There's those extra variables in there, and things can go around.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, this whole invitational has been completely different than anything that we've really done before with like MRBC and stuff like that. It's a very unique rule set. They have the required 6 clans, 6 inner sphere, no more than 2 of any chassis, no hero mechs. That's one that not many people know. So you won't be seeing any oxides in play today. If you do, somebody screwed up. So strikes available right off the bat. They have a mixture of tonnage and class-based drops. Everything is Conquest tonight. We will be seeing some post-Conquest action here, so it might change things up a little bit. Neither team starts with a cap point this time, compared to all the other matches we've seen. So they're going to have to take that into account, and hopefully everybody stays on top of it. If anybody forgets that cap point isn't initially capped, that could cause problems. But I'm pretty sure both of these teams have been practicing and have this down on lock. So I don't anticipate seeing any of that.
There are the new cap rules, however. So I'm curious to see if a team tries to play the cap game, whether that'll work with the new pause the cap by shooting, right? If you hit an enemy mech when it's standing in the cap point, you're pausing them from capturing. So that could be an interesting thing. I don't know if that'll.
I have
really
yet
play
to
out.
see anybody running around with like a Raven with an ER larger or a Locust
ER
or
large,
something,
like preventing
just
caps.
just to harass caps or something.
I actually
like
thought
that.
about that earlier today. I was curious if a team would bring like a anti-cap strategy mech, like go 11 brawl mechs and 1
And then
Raven,
just run like
3L.
hell. It would definitely have to be on a map that isn't very open,
Yeah.
and not easy to catch up to people though. Like Polar Highlands, I think if you had a Locust running around and they used ER larges, you'd get shredded pretty easy. So, but so we are going to be starting the night on Frozen City Night in a pretty low tonnage drops here. 500 to 525. No doubt we'll probably be seeing some streaks in use, but we are going to go ahead and get started. Mad props to PGI for tossing out that really quick hot fix today. Oops, I think I have to fix this overlay. That was absolutely fantastic because it was causing crashes. So thank you very much to them for doing that. It was Conquest related. Not sure what the deal was there, but see how well this lines up. But I did test it earlier on an actual PGI stream, and everything looked pretty good. That looks pretty good. All right, cool. So On the red team over here, we have Sig, and on the blue team, we have 228. So they are just getting started. We are in a very brawl-heavy map here, but we have been seeing a few standoffs in the 8v8 brackets where they worry about those cap points. Now, first thing I'm noticing, Sig is not wasting any time with that back Sigma point. So they are throwing cap points to the wind, and they are planning on going hard brawl. So let's see what happens.
And 228 is running a ton of streak boats. Hunchback with streaks, Mad Dog with streaks, Stormcrow with streaks. This is a really heavy streak deck for 228.
So 228 is heading up to Tactical Hill. Sig has moved into Lower City, and it looks like they are not stopping. They're weaving their way through the buildings. A little bit of poke action between a couple of the mechs here and 228 side, but a little bit of a bottleneck there. Sig needs to keep moving up or get some firing lanes here, but the Griffin 3M taking massive fire down to 84 or 64%. They are a little bit scattered here, trying to move up slowly, but this is a very slow, staggered push. I'm not sure if they were trying to get into brawl range or if they're trying to trade at range with SRMs, but they are losing their Arctic Cheetah here really quick. Now, they have done some pretty good damage to this Mad Dog over here. He's down to 37%. Everybody's still alive for now, but the Mad Dog does go down. The Arctic Cheetah is the lowest in addition to the Griffin 3M for Sig, but they are now entering the fray. They have a lot of work to do, though. A lot of fresh mechs for 228. Stormcrow goes down.
Just went down again for
but
Sig.
they are focusing on the Beef and Hide Your Kids. They are working on him as hard as possible here. Still saying relatively grouped up. But 228 is definitely has a nice little murder ball there.
It's 3-3 now.
It's 3-4. Oh, now we got a couple of 228 mechs dropping really fast here. The focus fire for Sig is actually working out in their favor. So if they can keep this up, they might be able to seal the deal. We're seeing a lot of mechs on both sides just falling rapidly.
And if they can get these last couple of streak mech downs, I think they have it. They do have some lights that are a little better brawlers than what 228 brought to the fight.
Looks like Sig is about to lose an Arctic Cheetah. He got out of the way, though. Griffin 3M goes down instead. We have 4 mechs for Sig against 5 for 228. Very hurt mechs on the Sig side. It looks like they are going to potentially lose this.
And they left a Stormcrow up here that is still got 2 streak 6s available to him. Looks
yeah,
like
leaving Hide Your Kids up there. I see that. The Soak and El Capone are working on the Krisman in the Hunchback, but they might be having some issues with his flamers there. And now Hide Your Kids is sneaking his way up, taking pot shots with the streaks, working on Soak as hard as possible. But that 4 SP, tanky as hell, down to 23%, still in the fight, giving Lego Pirate some opportunity to get some shots in there. But it looks to me like they might have pretty much sticked maybe a head laser on Soak, and they are heading over to finish off Lego Pirate here. They have a relatively fresh Gen RF, and they went ahead and finished them off. Very close brawl. Very close brawl. 4 mechs remaining on the 228 side. But
yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like Van Damsel has disconnected for 228, it appears. So, yeah, he is definitely disconnected here. But it seems like that didn't affect them too much. It looks like they were able to pull it out.
Somehow he got 10 assists according to my scoreboard. But now we get to watch the real minigame, which is the run for the caps. Now that now that the actual fight is done, we will be kind of chilling here for a little bit, and I guess watching the caps. So I guess let's take this opportunity. I'm just gonna put my controller down here for a second. Excuse me, still sick. Sorry, guys. To talk about what we saw. I don't know how long Van Damsel was disconnected for.
Yeah, I didn't exactly catch the moment when he did disconnect, but
he is damaged, so he was certainly in the fight at some point. But that might lend to why it took so long to finish those last couple of mechs with 4 people alive there.
Yeah. Now, that was a really interesting moment there. So you called out, Bandit, that in that brawl near the end, a bunch of 228 mechs went down really quickly. It was about even. It was, what, 3-3, 4-4, around that range. And then a couple 228 mechs went down in quick succession. And it almost looked like MercStar had the upper hand there. And then very quickly after that, MercStar just couldn't hold on. And to be honest, I don't remember exactly what the damages were looking like there, but really was an interesting kind of swing. It was very quick. It felt from all of a sudden 228 was down a couple mechs to MercStar being down a couple mechs.
Yeah. You know, I felt like that was close enough, and especially with that disconnect in there, that unfortunate disconnect, I really feel like that was close enough that any fixes to any mistakes or anything like that could have really thrown it the other way. The first thing I saw, and I'm going to have to go back to my replay to take a look here, that the SIG initial movement seemed really scattered and disorganized. They were in the same general region as each other, but it wasn't as tight as I would expect. And then they had a lot of hesitation. They didn't seem to want to go in, or maybe they were waiting for someone to catch up. I'm
Yeah.
not sure, but that's, I think, the first time in a long time I've seen trades with SRMs that weren't immediately followed up by just a flood of mechs running through the area. There was a lot of poke trades with SRMs. It was kind of a slow burn approach. So I'm not sure if that helped or hurt them. I want to say, and we'll look at the I might as well just bring up the replay now while we wait for the scoreboard to come up. But I want to say I'm not sure whether or not sorry, I'm losing my thought here, train of thought.
You're
if
right.
the
It felt
percentages like
uncoordinated.
worked in their favor, like when they were doing these pokes, like were they dealing out more than they were taking? And just at first glance here, I'm going to say no. I've seen, we had the Griffin 3M down to 64%. They had some at 87%, 80%, 93, 84.
And it allowed those streak mechs to get a couple of, basically free streak volleys. They had so many
Yep.
streaks, and the one downside to running streaks, right, is it's a little bit longer of a cooldown than you would get with like an SRM.
Yep.
But I mean, if you're sitting back, the DPS doesn't really matter as much. The DPS advantage of running SRMs over streaks doesn't matter as much.
So I think that Mad Dog was a little bit out of position over on the left side. He was really left alone, and that was where that firing lane is where a majority of SIG was. And they were able to dispatch him real quick. And I think that really started, I guess you could say, the comeback, where that's a pretty big mech to take down, and a very deadly mech. Relatively easy to kill, a Mad Dog, but if you leave it alone, you'll regret it, and you won't live to regret it. You will regret it immediately. So they took him out really quick, and I think that was a really good start.
Well, there were two Mad Dogs, though.
There were two.
That's the problem there.
That's the problem. But yeah, I mean, we're seeing a lot of high percentage mechs on both sides. So the focus, once they got rolling, the focus seemed to work really well. You didn't see like every single mech under 60% because that's a sign of poor focus fire. It's really tough to see in 12v12s. I'm going to pause the replay real quick because we do have the scoreboard up now. Let's just go ahead and take a look at that.
Holy smokes. Chrisman in that Hunchback 2C, which was a streak boat, 830 damage, followed by Hydra Kids in the Stormcrow, which is another streak boat, 648.
Goodness gracious, they did some work, and Chrisman lived to the end with that too.
Yeah, 800 damage in a streak boat is not going to bode well for a light drop.
With 199 ping somehow. Not sure how that works, but yeah, I mean, that is definitely somehow they lost a mech at some point, but I guess it really doesn't matter. They had 4 alive when I alt tabbed out, but yeah, there we go. So let's go back to the replay here. But so the focus seemed really good. It's hard to see in 12v12s whether or not some of this could have potentially been like maybe execution style, like maybe some light mech was able to backcore someone out really quick to cause a landslide or something. And those are the plays that are really hard to see with this many mechs on the field. But bottom line, that was an incredibly close brawl. So one thing changed could have made a world of difference there. Look at how hurt some of those 228 mechs are at the end there.
Yeah.
And leaving that Street Crow alive, I don't know if it was necessarily a decision to leave it alive. I'm sure it wasn't. But he was able to continue doing work and was able to finish things off. So, brutal.
Yeah, well, it was an interesting kind of drop deck comparison too. I mean, MS basically went with what, 1, maybe 2 streak boats, and 228 loaded up everything that they could fit streaks on. Basically, short of having like a streak adder or kit fox, that was just about every clan streak that you could fit in this drop deck.
Mm-hmm.
And the surprising thing, I guess, for me was that was not as decisive as I might have thought with such a stacked streak 6 deck. You almost expect it, right, that you just start one-shotting a bunch of those lights, and then before you know it, it's a really steamroll sort of match. That was not. I think MS did a good job for the most part. I saw several times during the engagement their light mechs actually pulling back behind buildings, trying to break those locks or at least intercept those streaks before they got to them. And I think that helped them keep it close, but ultimately just couldn't keep up under that many streaks. I mean, at the end of the day, that's just a ton of streaks.
And maybe part of it had to do with, the fact that they were starting their initial fight among the buildings and stuff. That just breaks up the locks, and then when you do start getting locks and targets, just having 24 bodies on the field, it's very tough sometimes to get those streaks tossed around,
Yeah.
It might be tough to get that kind of damage out, as opposed to like a pinpoint damage weapon or something like that. But that was a very small battlefield. A very small battlefield for that many mechs, definitely.
All right, so drop 2 is Mining Collective, and I don't remember the rules for this drop.
This one is going to be a 4-4-2-2 map, so 4 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults. So we are going to see some assaults on the field in this one, but still a relatively light drop. So there is a possibility we might still see streaks in play here. It didn't seem to necessarily give too much of an advantage one way or the other, though. So
yeah, it really didn't. So, and I think especially now that assaults are kind of sealing the field, I think teams probably will go more for the DPS lights. And mediums rather than
maybe just straight up SRMs.
Brawl, they'll go SRMs, I think, in this engagement. At least that's what I would do, But
nobody cares what you think, MD.
Just going against assaults, those streaks suddenly become a lot less useful than when you're going against essentially 6 lights and 6 mediums. I think we'll probably still see a brawl. Mining Collective is bigger. It does have some more cover for range, but in a 12v12, there's so many mechs on the field, and especially when they're coordinated, I just don't think that you can bring a range deck and really do that well with it with this much cover.
At the same token, though, with 4 lights roaming around, you could play like ranged with a poke deck or something like that, or ranged with capping lights. I've seen it. It can work if played correctly. It's just one of those things where if you screw up, it's gonna collapse any really quick. At least in a brawl, you kind of have a little bit of leeway. It's press W to win kind of thing, and you just worry about focus fire. But with range decks and stuff, it's a little bit more of a chess match. You're trying to outthink your opponent, outmaneuver your opponent, and guess what they're gonna do next, and have proper scouting to tell you what they are doing right now. So that's some exciting stuff. So we could very well see just a straight up brawl, but at the same token, maybe somebody's got some tricks up their sleeves. So let's see what they do and how they play it out. Or maybe both teams have tricks up their sleeves, and we're going to see range versus range, and then that'll be a real exciting fight. So looking forward to that for sure. Both teams are getting back into the lobby and starting to ready up. So
I think it might be possible. Oh, nope, never mind. We got everyone back.
Might be possible what? Oh, the guy who disconnected.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like they got him back. Or I don't think he's in
no,
this
Van
one.
Damsel's not in this drop, so
They must
maybe,
have
unfortunately,
sent him
Van
down.
Damsel might be having some technical problems.
Or he just wasn't on this drop. Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows? But I saw in chat they were saying PGI team killed somebody. I don't know who they team killed, but yeah. I think you guys all agree with me when we say that I hope that they change the cap game after everybody's dead a little bit. I saw some tweets.
It might be nice.
From Russ going around. It'd be nice if they rushed that a little bit faster than April, but we'll see. But at least we can talk about stuff while it's happening. I don't think anybody's missing much. And I could see a potential with the mechanic of everybody being dead and still having to worry about caps as being exciting in itself as well, if there's a mad rush for the final cap. So there's still something that you have to think about. That's fine. That's cool. And it's just when it's a 5 cap and the other team basically has literally no chance of winning, that's where they should probably call it off. So we'll see. By the way, happy St. Patrick's Day weekend, etc. to all you guys out there. Drink responsibly. Beef has already gotten started, it seems.
Yeah, very responsible.
And don't drink in Mech unless your name is the Beef, apparently. So everybody's Irish today.
Don't forget, everyone, your grab bag events.
Yeah, got a good event going on for MWO, so we're pretty excited about that. You can just play a whole bunch, get some more MC and all that jazz. So gonna be good. Gonna be good. So both teams are now ready up, so we are going to go ahead and get started. Hopefully somebody will hit the button soon.
It's the Beef going to hit the
button. The Beef is the one that has to hit the button.
So
come on,
hopefully the Beef can find the button.
Hopefully the screen's not too blurry. And we got it. Okay, the Beef found the button. Here we go. Drop 2. 4 lights, 4 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults on the Mining Collective. Here we go.
It's actually one of my favorite maps in the game, I think.
Really? You like this one? I like this one too. I think
I
it's
enjoy the Mining
fun.
Collective.
Alright,
I think
so
it's got a lot of good cover.
We're taking an initial look over here at MercStar, and I'm seeing Muller 1Ps. So not opting for the MX-90s, we're instead going for the Quad Ultra AC5 variants. Blackjack 1X with the medium laser, medium pulse laser Stormcrow. What do you got over by you?
Well, I hope G-Man's not listening in this one, because it looks like we have
Panthers.
Some range mechs. We have Highlanders, 732Bs with ER larges and Gosses. This looks like a mostly range deck from 228. They have Enforcers with ER larges, Highlanders with ER larges, Grasshoppers with ER larges. They do have some SRM Griffin 3Ms, pretty standard, and some Brawler Lights. But this is a about half range, half Brawl deck here.
You know, we're kind of seeing the same thing out of SIG, actually. We got dual PPC Panthers. We've got the DACA, but then, you know, we had the medium range. But then we got Goss PPC Timberwolf. We got ER medium laser large pulse Timberwolf. ER large triple ER large Shadowcat. So a healthy mix of both. And so we are having the first guys to reach Theta and take it is 228. Now, we have the lights over here on the Epsilon side getting some of the initial poke. Nobody bothered with Epsilon. Oh, no, they did take Epsilon. Good. The map just doesn't reflect that. The Panthers are doing some work over on the side, but that's kind of dangerous because you got the Arc Cheetahs, the Fire Starters. They could easily get run down here. I don't know if they realize that these guys are literally right there. Somebody just yelled at Lego Pilot to get the Pirate to get the hell out because he almost got backcored there by one last bite. But thankfully, Dirty Dan was there to essentially jump up and scare that cheetah off just for a split second to give Lego Pirate the opportunity to get away. But quite a nasty amount of damage dealt to those Panthers. The Panthers are really... oh, man. Dirty Dan does eventually go down. So that was brutal. They were out there. They were going to try and do some work, but they allowed the lights to just get up on them, and they paid for it real quick. So down one light mech at this point. SIG has
it looks like
begun their
MercStar
charge
is
up
rolling
the right
up
side.
on those ranged mechs on the right side by Kappa, Theta. These Highlanders and things are starting to draw a lot of attention.
This is a very difficult place to trade from, though. I mean, this is kind of a hellhole right here. Not a good place for SIG to be hanging out, but there's really very little options. Your only way to get up there are either to charge right into the middle of the shit or go all the way back around tunnel. This is a very, very difficult place to fight from. At the same token, it's hard for 228 to necessarily shoot down at them, But if SIG has any hope for map control, it's not going to happen here near Kappa. The Arctic Cheetah is right up on the back there, working down the Shadow Cat from behind. They're doing a good job. They caught the Mauler 1P out. Black Dracon and Sace are both caught out front. They are getting worked down. It's not going to take much to kill them. Sace does go down. The Mauler 1P down to 49, 45%, 44. He is going to be going down shortly. They are trying to work their jump jet mechs up the right side. Things are looking incredibly grim for SIG at this moment. They have been dealing some damage, but it is completely spread throughout the entirety of 228. They need to start getting some sort of focus, but in this position, I don't know how they're going to be able to do it.
Yeah.
I would not be surprised if this one ends up in a 12-0. That was just such a nasty place to be fighting from. They did take down Marshall in the fire starter, so it's not a complete sweep, but there's no way SIG is going to come back from this one. Just that position, I mean, it's not intentional that they ended up there. I would have to say it's more fantastic maneuvering by 228 to take advantage of their movement and put them in a disastrous position, and we're able to just completely shred them down. 2 now down for 228, but only 5 remaining for SIG.
And, the other part of this is that just taking a look at the drop decks that they brought, again, the initial trades, they got those Grasshoppers and Highlanders up on some of these high points over by behind Kappa, and we're just firing straight down the line towards some Enforcers on the other side for MercStar. And unfortunately, the Enforcers were running large lasers, whereas all of these range mechs are running ERs for 228, and I think they were just dominating that trade. If by nothing else, I mean, they had the range to do it. They had the better range to win that initial trade, and it enabled them, to be able to do that. And I think by the time MercStar realized that they were just getting pummeled on that initial trade, partly because they were at a disadvantage because of the range of their mechs, it was already too late at that point.
Absolutely. I think that, I don't know if they were trying to get those Panthers on the left side to maybe draw attention. Try and get them to move towards the Panthers, but it didn't work at all, and the Panthers got caught out. So that entire movement was, they had their eyes on them. Clearly, they knew where they were going, and they jumped on them. So that's one where a series of unfortunate events and a massive collapse, just that leads to this many bodies on the field, basically. That's one that I'm sure they wish they could take back, and we'll probably look at that for future purposes, because I think that would probably turn out the same way in an 8v8 even.
Now I have to ask you, Bandit, just from a spectator perspective, how many mechs do you have dead for 228?
I have 2, Marshall and El Capone 2.
See, that's an interesting. I've got this wonderful little bug, I guess, where I don't even see all of MercStar dead.
Really?
Yeah, I see Sace is still alive at 64%. Everyone else is dead, and I see Grim in the Highlander 732B is dead, and now Defunct is dead.
228, I think, is killing each other right now. Because there's nothing better to do at this
They have
point.
so much to live for, though.
Yeah.
Sace even shows up as a little red dot on my battle grid.
Really? That's interesting. Yeah. I did see something similar to that before, where a bunch of people were killing each other. It was actually during the EU cast for MRBC today that one of the gentlemen from, I think, Germany was putting on. And I noticed that they were doing a redrop, and everybody suicided, and none of the people showed up dead on the screen. So,
yeah, I have both Highlanders dead, and Sace still alive. I'm looking at his dead mech now. It's bent over in a very unfortunate position, we'll say that. But the game still believes it is alive. I kind of want to screen capture this just because of how unfortunate this is.
So I'm popping over to take a look at the replay now. Let's see if the full... No, that doesn't help at all. So yeah, we're looking at the replay now, and what we're seeing here is the main body for SIG moving up past Sigma, trying to do some jump sniping, it seems. And then I notice over on the left side, wow, that's 4, all the 4 lights or whatever for Sig over here hanging out, and look how dangerously close those Panthers allowed those cheetahs and Firestarters to get to them. So I knew this was going to turn into a pretty nasty little exchange here. One of the Panthers looking towards Theta has an Arctic cheetah walking up right behind him, and the only reason he doesn't get a backcore right there is he hears the jump jets from Dirty Dan popping up there. Now Dirty Dan does take a pretty nasty hit to the back, and another one there, so I'm sure his back torso is wide open. They begin their retreat, but the lights for 228 do not waste any time nipping at their heels and actually end up taking out, right, looks like with medium pulses here, he's going to take that back core out on the Panther.
Yeah, and as chat's mentioning, the Panther just isn't fast enough to even be able to run away from lights.
No, I don't know if they anticipated that they were going to have a little bit more time. I'm going to pause the replay here just to bring up the scoreboard. Oops.
Look at those Highlanders. 400 damage a pop for those Highlanders. Grasshopper with another 400 damage. And one last bite in the Arctic Cheetah doing top damage.
Absolutely. So we're going to put up...
Dirty Dan, unfortunately, that Panther, like you said, got opened up in the back, and he wound up doing 0 damage for that match.
Ouch. That is rough. That was a bad positioning. And with those lights, I mean, half your job is scouting, and unfortunately they didn't see the enemy lights approaching them. I don't know if they didn't have seismic, but having, like, one of them having their back turned to a cheetah walking up right behind them, you at least need to have seismic in that situation if you're going to be playing that close to enemy lights. But
well, the other thing is, when you know there's 4 lights on the enemy team, you can't make the assumption that those lights are also ranged mechs.
Yeah, I'm gonna take from
Especially
the playbook of a good friend of ours and say those Panthers needed to play a little bit more cagey, and not put themselves out there because it's hard to see what their effort is, like what they were trying to do there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that definitely did not turn out well. Thank you, Magician, for the tweet out there. And a couple retweets, too. Awesome. Good to see you. Let's grow this crowd here.
Well, it looks like, actually, 228 apparently had a improper deck there.
Oh, really? How so?
I'm not sure exactly what the details are, but
2 Grasshopper, 5 Ps, Forcer 4R, Griffin 2N.
They not have enough clan mechs?
Firestarter S, Firestarter S. Oh, maybe. Cheetah,
yeah, I think they don't have enough.
Yeah.
They didn't have 6. Yeah,
they didn't have
brought
6 clan mechs. Oh, dear.
So on a drop that 228 dominates.
They have so much IS range.
On a drop that 228 dominates, they wind up having to forfeit that drop.
Okay. All right. Well,
so it's
looks
tied.
Like 228
1-1.
agrees. Yeah, 228 agrees with it. I mean, you know, it might not matter in the long run. Good catch on that. I didn't even see that. That, you know, that does explain as to why 228 had such fantastic range mechs.
Some great range, yeah.
But yeah,
it's amazing when you think about it. When clan mechs dropped, how great they were at long range engagements, and now, not really. You need to be bringing IS mechs.
So yeah, 228 just shrugged it off, said we'll take the forfeit, but they're going to go ahead and move forward. And I think they're pretty confident with how they've been playing so far that they're going to go ahead and just win out.
Yeah.
But we
definitely a confident strategy, but it could backfire.
It could definitely backfire if Sig fixes some of their issues they got with their positioning and stuff like that. Drop 1 was kind of promising, and you know, it was a little bit of a shame to see it go to 228's way with the decent focus MercStar was putting down. If they can bring that focus together and fix some of their positioning issues, they could still win this. So we'll see if that one comes back and bites 228 in the end. So we are heading over to drop 3 on Polar Highlands, which I still haven't put my picture up for. Need to do that. Slacker. So slacker. You know, I've only been doing MWO-related stuff all frickin' week. But no, it's been good. So 6-pack 7, thank you very much for the follow, good sir. Hope you are
And
enjoying
don't
the
forget,
show.
guys, this is a charity event.
Absolutely. And with that in
Please do
mind,
donate.
I think we should go ahead and do our first giveaway for a 500 MC pack. What do you think? You think that's a good idea? You think I should do that?
You know what? I'm gonna go ahead and say you should do that. That is a good idea.
Alright, you just don't want people to hate you, that's all. So I'm going to go ahead and take you off my list so you can't win anything.
Well, now I hate you.
So, alright, we got, looks like 54 people or so, not including you guys. So let's go ahead and take a look at the giveaway. MC. Ba-da-ba-da-ba. 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 Alright, the Wheel of Death begins to spin. Let's see who is going to win 500 MC today. And the winner is Prepaid Lennon. Congratulations, good sir. Make sure you say something in chat. Cheer, say yay, or something like that so we know you're actually here watching. And we will toss that code over to you at the conclusion of the stream. So congratulations, 500 MC code to Prepaid Lennon.
You can take that and put it in the bank.
I guess so.
The MWO bank.
So that said, we are moving on to Polar Highlands, drop 3. A little bit of a heavier drop here. What do you expect to see on this one?
Well, you know, given that we saw ranged on Mining Colony, which is a little bit more of a brawl deck, I am very much expecting to see ranged here. I think it's just going to be a matter of kind of what the movement is and where they can get the engagement. I mean, Polar is such an interesting map because there's actually a ton of cover on the map, but it's very dependent on making sure that you move to the right places at the right time to be able to take advantage, really, of your hard points. And you know, there's all these different kinds of rolling hills and things, and some of them are great for certain mechs, and some of them really aren't. So it'll be interesting to see kind of where their movement puts them. But it's very important, I think, to consider where you're going to wind up. Like, if you go in the middle of Polar Highlands, there's basically no cover. If you go around the edges, obviously plenty of cover. It's just a matter of, you know, what works for your deck.
Absolutely. I really do like this map, and I like watching fights on this map. Conquest even is exciting on this because you have to have that in the back of your mind, especially if one team is putting themselves at risk by bringing a deck that's capable of capping while fighting. You know, that is, you know, that puts you at a disadvantage, but you have to be ready to buy those mechs time to get the caps, stay alive long enough, because if you just die, then they're just going to cap you back.
And if you bring a ranged deck, that gives you that. I think a ranged deck is much easier to kind of delay.
To kite. You can kite.
It's a kite.
You can go anywhere on the map. You don't even need to fight near a cap. You can drag them into the far reaches of the map or something, and if they follow, they might have somebody capping as well, and then you might have some side fights to worry about. So you know, that's, I've seen stuff like that happen, and those guys that are committing to the cap, if they realize that they're being outclassed by the other opposing team that's capping, they need to be ready to rejoin their group and fight with them to try and give them an advantage. Because if you can't get the caps and your job is to get the caps, you can still do good by rejoining your team and trying to win the fight and then worrying about the caps afterwards once you have a little bit more fire support. But making that realization that this isn't working, you can't fight for 5 minutes over a cap and not have it go your way. You're going to lose because your team's fighting at a disadvantage. You're you know, because probably you're fighting 1v2 or 2v3, who knows. But you know, if you can't seal the deal, all you're doing is screwing your team over. So hopefully they'll have really good communication and stuff, but we'll see what the movement's like and what decisions are made here and see if MercStar can leverage this one back into their favor. They are all readying up now, and we should be heading in right now. And then Sace unreadied up.
Oh.
Beef called
You know,
live on 3. It's official.
I really think MercStar might be better served just how these first 2 drops have gone, trying to play that cap game. I think that might be a nice little strategy. Gets 228 kind of, I wouldn't say by surprise, but like you said, it can be hard to handle someone who's kind of sending 2 mechs on anti-cap if they've got the deck to do it. And in this Invitational, you have some flexibility on what you bring your deck. You could bring a ton of heavy mechs on a tonnage drop and then put some lights in there.
This one absolutely can be won and lost in the mech lab, I think,
Yeah.
because you're taking a gamble. You could bring more people and putting them towards the cap game, but then you're putting less people towards the trade game. So you have to gauge how good are your guys at trading versus theirs. What if one side brings a brawl deck? How are you going to play that out? And, those are all things you have to take into consideration. This map is incredibly, I think, a very drop commander-esque map where it really comes down to good planning.
Yeah, good planning, good movement. There's the 2 things that are going to
Why
win
are people
you a
typing
match
raffle in
this
chat?
drop.
I didn't do a raffle.
I think everyone just defaults. They hear the word giveaway.
I did what it does is it draws from Twitch chat all the names of everybody, so you don't have to type raffle on this one, guys. So here we go. Let's take a look. I am over on the MercStar side. I'm sure I've been calling them SIG all night, so I apologize to all the guys that actually aren't in
You
SIG.
have.
I'm a terrible person, and I apologize profusely. So we are seeing some Blackjacks, Shadowcats, Ebon Jaguars, which is pretty good on this map. Goss, medium laser, large pulse laser, so going a little bit more in the mid-range. ER large laser, Shadowcat. Goss, ER PPC Timber, a popular choice. Grasshopper 5P with ER large. 3 ER large, Blackjack 3. So MercStar bringing a mixture of extreme range and mid-range, so they're gonna try and work those angles. What do you got over there?
And it's interesting, 228 has mostly gone with more of a brawl. They've got, I think, 4 ER large laser mechs, and then a bunch of pulse, large pulse, medium pulse, black knights, grasshoppers with pulse and medium lasers sort of thing. This is definitely not a extreme range drop, to say the least. I mean,
the real
got the
question
full
is going to be
Overwatch
how fast can MercStar identify that, and they're going to immediately have to change up their strat. If they go barreling into the center of the map with ER large lasers, realizing that they're bringing some heavy brawl, that's going to be an issue. Now, do you see any mechs that scream brawl, like at first glance? Because they do have quick draws. The grasshoppers could be brawl, obviously. But nothing at first glance says, hey, we're more of a brawl deck, until they actually get up close and start targeting and firing. So this looks to me like they're content with their movement, they're content with their firing, and at some point it's going to dawn on them. Let's see if we can get some of these angles here. It's going to dawn on them that they're getting really close to us.
228's just making a hard
straight
push straight
push.
into them.
So I don't think they've realized that
capping,
yet.
Or 3 mechs separated from the rest of the fight.
Yeah, they are sending somebody off to take Sigma. So with being such a heavy brawl deck, they are still playing that cap game. They've evened it up 2-2, and they're about to actually take 3 caps to 2, or 3 caps to 1. Epsilon hasn't been captured yet. But 228 has not gone in on the push yet. They're allowing their guys to kind of win the cap game at the start here.
And right now it almost looks like they're winning the trades too. Just looking at the damage, we've got some mechs, Black Draken and the 86% for the Shadowcat, 90% for LP Magic and the Shadowcat. Right now,
looks like we got a little bit move up the left flank here. They're finally getting their brawlers a little bit closer.
And actually, let me correct myself. Grim 57 is getting
with down to 71%. So the longer 228 waits here with having less trading mechs than SIG, it's costing them. They're working on the quick draw right now. They're getting some really powerful hits in there. I kind of expected when you said they were more brawly that they would just slam into them, but they split some mechs off for the caps and are allowing SIG to essentially continue their trade into them. They're getting pushed up on the left side here, and they're going to be caught in the open field here. There is no cover for these guys in this particular area until they get over this hill. So the Blackjack and the Timber need to get to safety. You can't just stand there, Sace. You need to move because they are breaching on you, and you are going to get punished. They've been working on the Timber, who just barely escaped, but Sace is going to be next, and he is going to get caught out. He's getting swarmed now by Arctic Cheetahs, and they are going to work him down. He needed to get with the rest of his group a lot quicker there, so he does go down, and that takes some lasers out of the fight. But 228 has quite a few hurt mechs. This could still go either way at this point.
But I'm curious, these brawler lights for 228 might be the difference maker at this point. I don't think
they just took the Timberwolf down for MercStar. So they are focus firing very well, and they have their lights right up in their face. MercStar is more worried about the lights in their face now than the guys that are drilling them with lasers at range, and things are starting to quickly move in the opposite direction now. MercStar is starting to hemorrhage HP, and they can't focus their lasers on any of the 228 targets that are hurt right now.
Those lights are absolutely demolishing MercStar right now. They have no counters whatsoever to those lights being that close. It doesn't matter that 228's not playing their deck necessarily that tight.
They opted for the two Panthers again. They went for range, and the lights realized that, and they're just getting up in their face. They have no fear. No fear. They can just do this all day. And, 228 is doing a fantastic job. Anytime any of their mechs are cored out, they're just filtering them to the back. And now, as they have the cap advantage, and they don't even have to really push it that hard. If they're hurt, they can just kind of stay down, maybe take a little bit of a poke here or there, but they aren't in any rush at this point. It's just continue a slow push on them and grind them down. And so I no doubt in my mind, unless there's a miracle or some significant chain of events here, I think this one is going to go in favor of 228, which is a bit of a shame because I thought MercStar had a really good start. They got those initial trades in. 228 was playing very slow, and I think that kind of worked against them at the start. But then they stagnated a little bit, or at least some of their guys stagnated a little bit, allowed themselves to get run up on, and then, of course, the lights coming in and doing some fantastic work for 228. I think they definitely did a really good job nipping at the heels and dealing some significant damage. Really uncontested, because the Panthers are just not going to be able to do anywhere near as much. So one mech remaining for MercStar. He's just going to move forward and get it over with, and then we have the long, disappointing wait for the cap game to finish.
Yeah, it's some really interesting choices really in drop deck all night here. I mean, those Panthers, I just don't think they have a place in competitive play. I really don't.
I mean, they might, but, I think Panthers are all right, and they do okay at range. But what are you losing when you do it?
They're so dependent on the other team not having.
Yeah, and you're giving up that slot for a very powerful light mech that can take caps and stuff like that and win caps. Like, let's say they sent the Panthers off to take a cap or something like that, and they had to fight fire starters and Arctic Cheetahs or something like that. I don't know if they had fire starters, but they had Jenner.
I mean, the only thing that Panther is buying is, better range, and I just don't think that should be, at least in competitive play, I don't think you can have that be a light's job. I mean, the coordination is too good. You're giving up essentially what amounts to be a very high firepower, high DPS mech usually with either an Oxide, a fire starter, Arctic Cheetah. I mean, you're talking about SRMs and small pulse lasers sort of thing. That's a lot of firepower, and it's a lot of damage that you can put out in a small mech.
Absolutely.
Here is what we all came to see.
Yeah.
A mech tower from 228.
Oh.
Or somehow two mechs standing on top of one mech, or at least appear to be standing on top of one mech, except the Arctic Cheetah is actually just floating in midair.
Interesting. Well, I'm glad we have this opportunity to do all this fun stuff right now instead of preparing for the next drop.
All right, let's see if one last bike can get up here, and no, he cannot. Here comes the...
Oh, we have a double landing.
Stack.
Oh, but the Cheetah screws it up and falls off. And then a collapse of the tower.
Gosh,
what a shame. But the Beef is a consummate professional and is now dancing upon Dr. Killer and then somehow warps to the ground. So that's exciting.
They started off with two mechs landing at the same time and then just ruined it. I mean... That's just
Oh,
terrible.
the airtime on those cheetahs, though. Goodness gracious.
I like this,
Oh,
like,
we got the
cheerleader style
laser.
pyramid.
Yeah, look, we got the laser show going on here.
No, this is just, I mean, this is 10 out of 10 entertainment right now. Oh, and Hydra Kid just starts shooting everyone. Gosh, that guy.
Oh my goodness. All right, so well, at the very least, we can go ahead and go look at the replay.
Oh, and the airstrike gets. Did the airstrike just get 4 kills?
I have 3 dead right now on my
3
screen.
kills.
Jeez.
Triple kill.
Triple kill. All right, let's go take a look at the replay. Oh, well, hold on. It looks like that finished, so let's first go
That
look
did finish
at the scoreboard here. We'll pause the replay. And anything highly of note here, the Shadowcat Hydra Kids did a fantastic job.
Yeah,
Just kept the
surprisingly,
pressure
the
on.
lights didn't do as well as I kind of thought they would. I mean, 348 per
It's,
gen-
you know, they were
two
probably
damage, but
firing small pulse lasers
at max
pretty,
range.
yeah, at max range, but the fact that they existed and they're nipping at their heels.
Oh, yeah. It
it's-
doesn't show up on the scoreboard, but they took that.
They did a
entire
lot,
team
like
and
just the
had them-
panic
yeah.
on MercStar's side that they have to deal with the shit on the left and they can't continue laying fire down, and that allows 228 to stay up longer in a power position style play and just start using up all of their heat bar, drilling into MercStar. I mean, that's rough right there. That's definitely rough, and I think the Lights did a fantastic job recognizing that they needed to get forward and start doing some work, and that's exactly what they did.
Yeah, I think that you can pinpoint those lights moving up as the exact instant where the game really just turned easily in 228's favor.
Like it was that combined with some of the mechs opting to no longer move with their group. If their group was going to stop at some point instead of continuing to kite, they needed to do it in a ridge that's actually defendable. Unfortunately, they continued to move, and I kind of chalk it up. This is a very hard map to learn. You can never really truly know exactly where every nook and cranny is on this map. And the more you play it, you start to remember some things. But I've gotten caught myself basically trudging where I think I'm going to drop into cover, and suddenly I realize that I'm actually walking straight into a valley that's got no cover whatsoever. And, you know, the cover is there, you just have to know where to get it. And when you're firing and moving and firing and moving, it's so hard to find that cover. If anybody ever becomes an expert on that and knows how to steer 12 mechs correctly in chaos into proper cover and proper, avoiding the death fields, if they're ever able to do that, then they are the best commander I've ever seen, basically, because I couldn't see myself doing that for quite some time, even after playing this map for months and months and months. So I think people will get there through experience and continuing to play through comp and stuff like that, but it's going to take time. And I really think that this is a great map, that it's not so cut and dry. It really isn't cut and dry. So then here we're seeing they're continuing their rotation out. Sace opts to stick around. They continue pounding that Timberwolf, who's just now getting over the corner. Sace is now the only one really out in the open, and here come the Lights up that left side, and they're going to punish him quickly. But that entire field that they're fighting in right now is a death trap. They're on high ground, but they're still, a good 100 meters to 200 meters away from dropping into any sort of cover. They're completely exposed, kind of playing a power
you just
position
can't
in
move
themselves.
to the center with the range deck.
Absolutely, but they could potentially do a power position, and they're not technically in the center. They're on the edge of it, but there's periodically places where this map just kills you. It kills you, and they could play power position and just focus their fire on anything that pokes their head up. However, they have a bunch of Lights right on their freaking heels and have them to worry about. You can't just stand there and try to shoot everything that pops up when you're getting drilled from the side. So that just takes away that power position play, and it's just a grind down. And 228, once again, has all that cover to work with. Anybody that's critically injured can just stay down and kind of save himself, or take occasional peeks instead of playing overly aggressive, and MercStar goes down. So we're just seeing the end of that little brawl here, the beginning of the end for MercStar. They are now down 2-1, obviously one of them being the forfeit loss.
Yep.
But, you know, like I said, it looked really good in the beginning. But it just started to fall apart. This map really is... Oh, hi, dog. How you doing, dog? That's MD's dog scratching himself.
Yeah, there you go. 10 out of 10 entertainment.
10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. You know, it looked good in the beginning, but, just blind movement in like a semi-rotation, it can get you killed on this map, and we just saw it really, really big time there. And
well, the other part of that is that MS got up on damage early on using that range. As we were commenting, 228 didn't seem really willing to push forward as much. And those lights weren't quite in the fight yet, and they had some mechs down to, 60, 50%, and it didn't kill anyone. I mean, like you pointed out, 228 did a great job rotating mechs out, but especially if you're bringing a range deck and you know you have a range advantage, I mean, you got to get mechs down early. You really got to focus them down and just take them out.
Absolutely. I do think that, it turned, instead of it being like a NASCAR or a rotation around each other, it really turned into 228 was chasing MercStar, and MercStar was running for their lives. And when you get into a situation like that, you can call it kiting all you want, but when you're kiting ranged mechs, and they had some pretty brawly mechs too, but they did have a plethora of ranged capable
SAT
mechs.
word of the day.
And so that wasn't kiting, that was retreating, and it was a desperate attempt to try and get some distance and regroup somewhere, and unfortunately it never came, and then they crossed that killing field and it's over. So
well, as you pointed out at the beginning of the drop, especially on Polar Highlands, the drop deck at the beginning before you even drop into the game can win and lose that match, and I think it was won by 228, bringing the standard comp lights, and MercStar kind of sticking to their a little bit more unusual choice of lights. And as we saw, they don't have a counter right now for those fire starters, cheetahs, etc. getting up in their face, and it essentially lost them this match. 3 mechs, what was that, a cheetah, 2 cheetahs and a Jenner 2C, or a cheetah and a fire starter and Jenner 2C. Essentially 3 light mechs lost a 12v12 match because they didn't have a counter for it, and that's tough. That's really tough to play with.
One thing that I didn't take into consideration, we're no longer in the qualifying round, so I believe this is best out of 5. Am I correct? So if 228 wins this one, then it's all over for MercStar. So they really need to play hard, like they're about to get eliminated, because that's kind of what's about to happen here. That last one, actually, technically they should have been eliminated, but
well, do you want to give another giveaway then? Well, we're
I think that's a fantastic idea. So I know we're kind of selling MercStar a little bit short, and I hope we're wrong, but we're going to go ahead and give away another 500 MC code randomly to everybody in the chat. No need to do any sort of raffle or anything like that. Just existing in the chat is all you need to do. And
just existing.
Just existing. So we're going to go ahead and cue that up here.
Make sure you become one with the chat.
But we're going to do that now, just in case. Just in case. Why is it saying the only person in my chat is Nightbot? What have you done?
Wow. Okay. Rigged. Nightbot's the only one that matters, apparently.
I'm going to close this app and reopen it. Goodness gracious. Okay, it looks like it's thinking a little bit hard. There we go. Awesome. Look at all those awesome people out there. So, hopefully you guys have been donating, because we do have 4,000 MC to give away to anybody who donates $10 or more. For every $10 you donate, you will get an additional raffle ticket, essentially. And we'll do the drawing at the end for 4,000 MCs. So you're given to a good cause. Multiple Sclerosis Society is who this is going to. And we're really close to our goal, guys. The goal is $1,000, and we're almost there. So go give anyways, but you can still have the opportunity to pick up some money. Definitely go do that. I just need to make sure that I remove prepaid Lennon from the list so he can't win a second time. Sorry, bro. I mean, if you donate, you can win a second time.
Yeah.
But
if
for
you
this
donate
random
$10,
draw,
more.
we're not going to do that. So,
Oh, here we go. Caustic Valley, drop 4.
oh man, I'm doing a giveaway.
Potentially all for all
All
the
right.
marbles.
So we're going
I
to do
will
this
do
giveaway
radio
quick
cast.
while the game loads up. Wheel of Death spins. Who's it going to land on? Who's our lucky winner of 500 MC code? And the winner is Terciel 1976. Congratulations. You are the winner.
Congratulations, Terciel.
Congratulations. Say something in chat just so we know you exist. Toss that out your way. And then I will message you that code after the fact. So let's go take a look at Caustic Valley. Drop 4. Now this one is a 3-3-3-3 match, if I'm correct. So very even split. We do have some heavier mechs here to work with. Here we go. I'm over on the MercStar side, and I'm taking a look. They got some Jenner 2Cs, Wolfhounds. They're finally bringing some more of those fighter, duke it out style light mechs. Let's see what the Stormcrow build is. Streaks! We got streaks on the MercStar side.
It looks like MercStar's gotten tired of those light mechs.
Absolutely. They also
This
have
is a,
Griffin 3Ms, Ebon Jag, Timber, Griffin 3M, etc.
Looks like a mostly brawl deck with some Overwatch.
Mauler
4228 got some.
90X.
Those Maulers, I mean, you just can't not take them. They're so good right now, especially on this map where they're a little more heat efficient than some of the Laser Vomit builds. It's what else are you gonna take?
Absolutely.
They got some Black Knights. Some initial trades here at Theta. It looks like
the
MS
Ebon Jag has
poured
stepped
right
up
in.
and chased the Cheetah off, but the Cheetah has taken Theta, so they do not. MercStar does not have Theta at this point. I want to know where the lights were for MercStar, and it looks like they actually went Kappa in force. Not sure why they had to send 3 guys there, but they might have been expecting a fight. But Sace takes a ballsy move and actually moves up to cap Theta back. Let's see if he can spin it out without getting too wrecked here. 95% doing a pretty good job taking it thus far, but he is taking some extra hits. And he is getting off the point now in favor of the Wolfhound. So good move there, getting off of the point, allowing your light to continue to take it. But he did take some extra damage in the process.
Did a good job spreading it around his mech, though. He's not in too bad
They're
shape
jumping
here.
on an Arctic Cheetah over here on the left side. Got a couple good SRM volleys on him, but unfortunately didn't do too much. Ebon Jaguar now down to 62% for MercStar, so he's taking quite a few hits. MercStar is definitely putting everything they got into maintaining Theta.
It looks like right now MercStar is a little bit choked in this point here. They're trying to all get out of Caldera or trade from Caldera in the same little point.
Yeah, that's rough.
Definitely took a lot of damage there doing that.
Yeah, they did take quite a bit. They do have the cap advantage, but it's going to be very tough to hold it here unless they can find some sort of rhythm and start to drill down some of those 228 mechs. All of the damage Delta 228 so far is very spread. Arctic Cheetah gets hit down to 54%. He is cored. So that was a pretty good exchange there on the left side by MercStar. Let's see if they can get something going here on Theta instead of just getting drilled down by the
and
constant pop
right
tarting
inside
by
that
228.
Caldera is so hot.
It is, and heat is definitely not in their favor, but they do have some relatively heat neutral mechs like the Mauler 90X. Great strike right on top of the Ebon Jag and the Mauler there, dealing some pretty significant damage. Nobody dead yet on either side, but people getting burned down. Percentages heavily in favor of 228, but it's low enough on both sides that anything could happen if you catch somebody off guard. We got to push up the right side with MercStar, trying to get the Cheetah and the Jenners to tuck in, but really nothing close enough that they
One of
can
the Maulers
effectively
just
hit.
went down.
Oh, that's going to be
228 mech went
devastating.
down as well.
Especially on a mech
A light
that's
for an
that
assault.
heat neutral, losing him that early, that sucks. But we have a Wolfhound working up, trying to get some hits on the Timber. Takes a decent SRM volley, but he's trying to keep that medium pulse pressure on there. Kind of a 1v1 between a Timber and a Wolfhound. That's a tough fight. They did take down a 228 mech. The Jenner does go down. Taking out lights on this map would be good. That's why I'm a little worried that they got the Wolfhound up there, but they do take down the Timberwolf. They need to keep their lights alive. If it's going to be a close fight, keeping lights alive is going to be key to survival on this. They got the Arctic Cheetah down to 39%. If they can take him down, that's going to help as well. They still have a long way to go to come back from this, but if they can focus fire, they can do it. They have 228 mechs down. Everybody is in massive amounts of pain here, though. We're going to see MercStar mechs falling rapidly at this point. They have the cap advantage still, but it's going to hemorrhage. This is going to hemorrhage very quickly. They need to start dealing some more cored out damage. Down 6 mechs now. This is going to be tough. It's going to be up to the lights now to try and maintain the cap advantage.
And it looks like 228's recognize that they've got one light mech now heading away from the fight towards Gamma, actually. It is the Arctic Cheetah who is at 30%.
I don't want to sell MercStar down yet, but they're down to 4 mechs, and all of those lights that we were saying are going to need to be saved for the cap game, they are continuing to brawl and just getting shredded down at this point. So this one is going in favor of 228. They did send one guy off to Kappa, but this is going to be such a tall order, and it's a Griffin. He's probably sticked or out of ammo, so... I mean, he
is out of ammo.
Okay, so like it wasn't a bad decision to send him out that way. But yeah, I mean he did what he had to do. But it is going to go in favor of 228 hands down. So 228 wins the quarterfinal match between 228 Blackwatch and MercStar. Well played by MercStar, making it out of the qualifiers and into the quarterfinals. But somebody needs to move on, and it is going to be Blackwatch. So well played by both teams. That was an exciting match. But 228 definitely played very well, and the alcohol fuel on the beef was too overpowering. So
too overpowering, and he has now laid claim to Theta, firing SRMs in victory and dancing. So don't drink in mech, folks.
Don't drink in mech. This is embarrassing.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the replay while we wait. Once again, thanks everybody for coming out here. Definitely go donate to the charity. I hope you guys are doing it. I didn't have a chance to look to see if that number went up. So hopefully you guys are out there. I hope it doesn't go down. But hopefully you guys are out there donating to the Multiple Sclerosis Society and are doing your part. And hopefully we have some people for the drawing. If nobody freaking enters, I'm not giving you guys anything. Just saying. So hopefully somebody's donating some money there. But definitely fun fight. We got some. That means I believe 228 Blackwatch is going to move on to play Imperial in the semifinals. So that'll be a pretty good match. So hopefully we'll be able to cast that one as well. So we saw this initial trade over Theta. It was a pretty bloody trade. And I think MercStar decided at this point that they have to take the entirety of Caldara to lock down Theta. You know, you kind of go into it hoping that you can cap Theta and then just trade across it to maintain it so you can keep out of that hot center. But they sent their lights off to Kappa, and they had to essentially take it with their bodies, and that means camping inside of Caldara. You're already at a disadvantage because of the extra heat gain there inside the Caldara, and that's a very tough position to defend. They know where you are. You don't always know where they are. And but they stuck it out, and they were dealing some pretty good damage. They did a good job,
I think, spreading that damage. I mean, they were so heavy.
It took so long for some of those guys to start dying. So definitely, at the very least, props to MercStar at their ability to rotate out their damaged mechs to the back, keep them alive as long as they did. That was impressive. But I do think that they were at a bit of a disadvantage throughout a majority of this fight, and it was a slow burn to death. Very good strike there on some of those heavier mechs. That Mauler definitely taking the brunt of that. The Ebonjag taking a little bit of it too. Well placed, well done there by 228. But that's, like I said, I mean, they're spread out. They're doing what they can. 228 obviously is able to filter their guys out as well. Let's take a quick pause on the replay and take a look at the scoreboard here.
Man, Chrisman in the Grasshopper 5.8, 763 damage. Jay at 35 as well in the Grasshopper 543. And those Maulers defunct did 516, so pretty good job with the Maulers as well. Just good damage all across the board.
Oh, IP Magic, what happened there? 80 damage only with his Mauler. I would have expected a little bit more
Jaguar.
out of that. I mean, it must have just been poor trades or something, because I mean, with a heat neutral mech like that, you would definitely expect to get a little bit more in the 80 out of there. So that had
And
to
you
have
know
been
what
a
else
pretty
happened in that
devastating
match?
issue there.
Nanner Hammock in the Ebon Jaguar actually was one of the original mechs to get on Theta, and he lost his weapon torso early
Oh
in that
dear.
match. So he wound up with 0 damage for
Oh
the rest of
my.
the game. Just didn't. I think he had 2 flamers left, but never closed into a range where flamers would be useful to use.
And the SRM brawler is being held to like 80 damage apiece.
Yeah,
That is
it's
rough.
tough.
That is
Very
definitely
rough.
rough. Opie Coggers, Rooster FTW. Thank you for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. Let's go back.
You guys
to
do
the
that on
replay.
purpose, don't you?
They come up with the hey, Opie was pretty easy, but yeah, some of these guys come up with the most ridiculous names just to make me pronounce them, I think. So we're going back and taking a look at the replay. Definitely impressed at how long these guys were able to stay up. It was very good. Losing, that explains why the Ebon Jag went down to the red so quickly. I almost
Yeah.
think that if he lost all of his weapons, he should have been focusing a little bit more on the
I think he
cascade.
should have been capping the whole time.
And it might have at the very least drawn some attention to buy some time or something like that. But yeah, I mean, MercStar definitely played their hardest there to try and bring this one back. They did everything they possibly could, but it just unfortunately
Yeah,
wasn't
and like
enough.
I said, I mean, I really thought for a while there that it was going to be just a complete steamroll at the beginning, but I mean, MercStar somehow was able to spread their damage and stay alive for a long time, far longer than I think you would have ever expected. Looking at their damage totals, that was really impressive for them to be able to hold on that long. But unfortunately, like you said, just fighting from the caldera, it's so much hotter there than even just the rim where the rest of 228 was. There's just such a disadvantage for being inside there. It's very, very tough to do that, no matter what deck or strategy, whatever you're running in that sort of heat environment. It's just too much.
Absolutely. So before I lose all you guys here to the nether, etc., etc., I just wanted to toss out there that we, MD and I, are doing a shoutcast for MRBC tomorrow. It actually is another 228 team. It's going to be Swamp Foxes versus... I'm having a brain fart.
Swamp Foxes versus who are we
Sig.
playing? Sig?
It's another MercStar
another
versus
MercStar.
228. It's a different 228 team, of
Here, I'll
course.
get the link up.
But this is the secondary team for 228 versus Sig. So I think we're going to see a much closer match there, and it's going to be exciting. So definitely come by tomorrow. In fact, I'm going to really quick while we're waiting here and watching the rest of this replay, I'm going to send out a tweet to the Twitterverse
Well,
posting my Reddit post information for tomorrow. If you guys could do me a favor, give that thread an upvote and retweet that as soon as you guys can. That would be absolutely fantastic. Do you have any other remarks while I type this up, MD?
I'm just watching the replay, and I'm wondering whether at this point MercStar would have been better served to maybe just try and push out the Caldera on one side. You're not running really a brawl deck per se, but sometimes if you're in a bad situation, I don't want to say that Leroying is a good idea, but just a coordinated push might turn what essentially was just, that was a 12v12 poke was what that was. That was individual pilots trying to get the best angle to stay alive, do all that sort of thing. Sometimes, when you're in a bad situation, it might be better to just push over the hill, try and coordinate and run right into them sort of thing, and see if you can't turn the tides a little bit. I am a fan of doing that in those sort of situations. I almost wish MercStar had, but you know what? They'll go back and look at this, and I think it'll help them out. As you mentioned just now, we're casting Sig, which is a MercStar unit, and 228 Swamp Fox is the second team, 228 comp team, tomorrow. So this is all stuff that I think they can look back, they can learn from it, they can get better, and at the end of the day, comp matches are obviously about winning, but they're also about getting better as a team and playing more. Both of these teams, 228 and MercStar, or I should say groups, 228 and MercStar have a ton of competitive teams out there in various leagues, doing all this stuff. So at the end of the day, MercStar, I'm sure, wishes this would have turned out a little differently, but I'm sure they can go back and look at it and say, all right, let's step back, figure out what we did wrong, what we can do better, and for the next match, for the next tournament, for whatever they choose to do next and comp play, they'll have that knowledge.
Absolutely. Sig is definitely not out. This was a very tough match going in. Obviously, they were the underdogs via the seed alone. So they knew that they had a tall order here, and I think the results basically ended up the way that most people anticipated, purely on paper. But you know what? Sig learns every time they play, they learn something, and they're going to learn something from this. They're going to go forward, and they're going to take that into all of their other endeavors. And they're definitely a solid team. And I look forward to playing them because our team is in Div B, and I think it's going to be very exciting. So, we're going to probably play them later this season, so they're going to take everything they learned and use it against us. Yay!
Yeah.
I can't wait to get rid of
All right,
this
so
cough.
we looking forward here. I think we have some donations that we've received tonight.
Excellent. Let's see if I can
Take a
get
look
a
at this.
hold of...
So keep sticking around, guys. We're going to figure out who has donated tonight and give away that last 4,000 MC. All right, so we give out a last chance call. Here we go. We'll give a last chance call to donate. Nope, that is not the right link.
Oh, I'm thinking I'm blowing a blood vessel here. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, what you guys actually can't hear right now is just Bandit constantly coughing in my ears. So.
Oh my god. Yeah, I mean, the donations are a little bit light today, guys, so if you want 4,000 MC, go in there and donate, because you have a really good chance at winning this one, guys. Do it. I'm just getting the names here. Oh, I got a couple more followers. Grim and House Carl, thank you for the follow, guys. Oh, by the way, for that MercStar or MRBC match tomorrow that we're going to be casting, we will be casting it over on the MRBC League Twitch channel. If you could throw that into my chat really quick too. Definitely give it a follow. I will be hosting it from this channel, but we will be over there. Oh man, I need to drink something. I'm doing this for you guys. I told you I was casting, and I'm gonna goddamn cast. That's the way it works. So
That is a dedicated man right there.
I just want to be over.
He
with
does
this
this because he cares.
I definitely do it for the community for sure. If you guys do donate, can you type in there too? If they do donate, can they just mention in chat so we know to look?
Yeah, it looks like LP Magic is saying Cody M donated. So there we go. Looks like the Magician just confirmed he will be casting the other quarterfinal match, AIM versus Seraphim Rising Storm, for the MSI, MercStar Invitational. So that's on Saturday evening. You guys can look forward to that match as well. And then I believe, do we have another cast coming up, Bandit? Or
when?
No, we have a match coming up.
We have a cast tomorrow, and then Saturday we're playing in the quarterfinals.
Saturday, and
then Sunday we have our MRBC match, and then I have to get a whole nother stack of casts and matches scheduled for next week. So it's been quite a lot of MechWarrior Online the past week, and it will continue to be so. Also, IQ Fish over at Top Game Media Crew has begun doing his recordings for This Is MechWarrior Online 2. That's a work in progress title, of course. But unfortunately, his first week of recording has run into that crash bug on Spectator Tool post patch. But he did get some pretty good footage already, so that's super exciting. And so if you're a team leader in MRBC, be on the lookout in your scheduling threads. He's reaching out to people via those threads to confirm when he is able to record and stuff like that. So schedule your matches, guys. You help us out when you do. You're supposed to get them done by the Sunday night of the week before, not like the day before the match, guys. So definitely schedule your matches on time. It helps us out so we can plan our week ahead of time and stuff like that. So do us a favor. And then report your scores when you were done with your matches. Shouldn't have to be saying this, guys. You're in a league, so you report your scores once you're done playing. Do it.
And it helps MD do his predictions so he can brag to Bandit every day about his current standing. So please report your scores as they happen, and please win the matches that I predict to win. So thank you. That would really
definitely go check out MD's little prediction thread. It's pretty funny. He's terrible at his job, and
I am not terrible at my job. I am at 68% accuracy, 68% correct on my picks. I'd say that's pretty darn good. But I will go ahead and link that because I'm going to have no shame.
All right, well, I think we're going to go ahead and get this drawing going here. You said the donations just spiked again? By much?
I believe the donation spiked. I mean, I think the page is a little slow to update, to be honest. But let's see.
Is it that honor roll, or where do you see it?
I was just looking at the progress. It's higher than it was at the beginning of the night.
That's good. I'm just working with MercStar to give me the final information here. Sorry for the delay, guys.
It's okay, I'm keeping everyone updated in chat.
In the meantime, I'm going to...
And if anyone is watching this that does not currently participate in any sort of competitive play, obviously this is an exhibition series that we cast tonight, the MercStar Invitational. It is an invitational, so you have to kind of be a big deal. You got to know people. You got to have people know you. Not really, but that's kind of the point there. But there are leagues out there. I know we talk a lot about MRBC. That's because both Bandit and I are heavily supportive of MRBC. We cast a lot of their matches, those sort of things. But it is also the biggest league in MechWarrior Online. It's very, very popular, and it's also a lot of fun, especially if you're a new player or you're on a new team or just a team that wants to get into competitive play that hasn't done so yet. It offers a tiered system for their divisions, so they try and match teams of equal skill in the same division, so you're not going to be playing against the likes of a 228 or a MercStar. If you're a brand new team, obviously these are much more experienced and they kind of know what they're doing. So new teams play against newer teams, and more experienced teams play against more experienced teams. It's a whole heck of a lot of fun. It's 8v8, so it's a little bit less of a demand on your team if you want to start one or if you're in one that's a little smaller. I highly, highly recommend you check it out. This is Season 7 going on right now. Season 8, obviously, is the next one coming up. And so far, it's gotten, I think, better every year. So definitely check us out if you haven't. And if you aren't interested in competitive play, but you might enjoy watching it, we also get to cast a lot of those matches. And some of the divisions this year are fantastic. I think you'll see in both the EU and the NA Div A for MRBC probably is the best lineup of competitive teams you'll ever see in MechWarrior Online. So it's a lot of fun. You want to go ahead, Bandit?
Looks like HQ just donated.
Oh, man. Well, take him out of the list, though.
Should I?
No, you shouldn't. That would be mean.
Oh, maybe he's Paul. Oh, yeah, it's Paul. HQ's Paul. All right, well, all right, here we go. Let's do
Drum roll for the
the
final
donation. This is a pretty stacked list, guys. Here we go. For 4,000 MC.
The anticipation is killing me.
This list is ridiculous. Cody Paul, 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 Cody Paul. And the winner is Paul!
Oh, rigged.
Rigged.
Thank you, HQ, for your donation, helping out to a great cause, and enjoy your 4,000
No,
MC.
what is he gonna do with 4,000 MC? He has like every mech in the game right now. Like, I don't even know. But thank you for donating to a good cause.
Put
Definitely
that
worth
4,000 MC in your MechWarrior Online bank and let the interest grow.
I guess.
He
does have to put skins on all of those mechs.
It's a good investment.
So,
yeah, we now expect you to have the Marine Mechs camouflage on every mech, thanks to that 4,000 MC right there.
Absolutely. So, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Thanks for coming out. Sorry again for the coughing and stuff like that, but hopefully I'll be better tomorrow. And do have an exciting match tomorrow. Make sure you guys retweet my message and stuff, and definitely stop by and hang out for sure. So, as for me, I'm heading out. We'll see you later.
See you guys.
Pay attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it. Work around it. Let's play this game.
I need another heavy. I've got TB and a quick draw.
I want to get fairly tight to it. Now, anybody who's going to be working range, I'm going to need you to fade right on this. And when anybody's running short, we're going to stay towards the top of the call there if we're going to come at them.
I have you in the Griff. Griffin.
Sounds good.
Well, that's the thing. We got to get to brawling range, so I may be moving us, right up to the hoop if we have to.
Wolverine nach Charlie 4.
It's fine, chill the out, man. It's fine, it's just a 5-star.
Komm, Leute, redet miteinander.
15 seconds. Yeah, exactly. Don't die. Guys, 15 seconds. Don't die. Guys. 3, 2, 1.
Charlie Dar, CT, yellow.
Okay, go to Charlie, so we can get it.
There, to your left, there's a... Sorry, shoot. So, jetzt guys, hinter die Indie-Pocken.
Mediums be prepared to pull back E40 towards the E5 border. On my mark.
Left side, come on! Like now, I need strikes on OP barrel. Wire are strikes up.
Die Hauptgruppe rechts, Uferlinie.
They have 3 mechs sitting on the left side when you pass over. Overheating is bad. Both lights on the Griffin. Hit the Griffin.
Sorry about that. That was such a...
That's all right. I'm gonna spawn Lance, you guys in Charlie, Lance, you guys in Bravo. That's B2C1.
This third drop is 2 lights, 2 mediums, 2 heavies, 2 assaults.
Jetzt in die Breite, ziehen Sie dann in die Breite.
Lights, watch our backs. We're gonna about base and take up position in Bravo 6.
Ja, kurze Aufschaltung, Delta 4, 3 Stück, 2 Mediums, ein Light, wie ich es richtig gesehen habe.
Make a firing line.
C4 Tactical Hill, boys.
Fox.
Laufen unter ECM, haben 2 durchlaufen, 10 Bravo 4.
And get ready to hit people coming from our right.
Charlie on the left, Charlie, Hellbringer on the left.
Okay, let's group up towards the left. We're gonna press through Bravo 3 to Bravo 4. I think they're kind of spread out.
Check yourselves. Make sure you've got, UAV cool shot.
Hey, here they come. They're pushing hard, guys.
Deco. Tez on.
Go. Oh, got a contact here, Bravo 3.
Nice, Marshall. I'm on Delta Griffin.
Well, if you cross it, then get in their face.
They got a highlighter, they just pushed up on Theta. We need help on Theta. Up on Theta. Yep, that's the noise. Go, go, go. Let's finish this. Full pressure, guys. Full pressure. They're down low. They're down low in Charlie 3. Get the fucking arm, Jackson.
Jackson, cool shot.
Golf. I got him.
Go, P3, go.
Echo, go.
Get over on your medium, guys. Get Echo Stormcrow. God, I suck as a pilot, but thank I packed my skill. I'm sorry that you died, sweet girls, but we will send a reasonably nice letter to your family. Attention to the paper doll. Make sure you guys are shooting the correct legs. Be careful of the collisions. I don't want to hear complaints about it.